Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Disco.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey.
What's up, beautiful guys?
Yay, Sharon Brown, everybody. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. What a blast. What a blast. Guys, you are gorgeous.
Oh, isn't he? Isn't he gorgeous?
I said so.
You're gorgeous. Off camera, I said you look like Stephanie Powers with a good tan. And you do. You look like Stephanie when you were singing in your video. Meanwhile, I miss disco. I miss that music so much. I loved it. I used to dance at 54 in New York. I was all over the place. Those were the days, my dear. And I danced to your song many, 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 many times. And what a pleasure and what an honor it is to meet you. Thank you so much for letting me dance to your beautiful music.
Oh, Ron, thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you for saying
And I mean that. I don't bullshit. I never bullshit anybody. I mean that with my heart. No, we have a lot of people that come on that I could give a shit about their music. You know, I make believe. I go, oh, that was nice. But your music, you know, you got to be nice, right? You got to be polite. But I'm from Brooklyn. And, you know, people from Brooklyn tell the truth. So I love your music. I just wish that it could have gone on and on and on. Why did we get rid of disco? Why did it go out of vogue? What do you think?
Well, I don't think disco went anywhere. We've always kept the boogie shoes on, and we've still been dancing all over the place. It's just that the culture, the mood, the vibe changed. You know what I'm saying? Things changed from loving each other and loving good times in each other in music and respect for our community and for each other that seemed to take a back seat. It seems as though hell has increased itself.
Absolutely.
I agree with you so
It's
much.
not just the music, it's the attitude and the frequency change in the human being and in us. We have allowed greed and all the other terrible, terrible attributes that we need not be bothered with to take hold, take root. And it's grown, it's magnified so much that we have seen so much death, so many people we've lost, unnecessarily so. And that's why I stand on the platform. I specialize in love, and I say to people now, make a promise to me, to yourselves, and to the one true creator of all living things, that you will fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself, because it's much there.
I also believe it's a generation that didn't teach the young today respect, how to love oneself, and how to achieve your dreams. It seems that the generation, I don't know what generation it is, it would probably be the generation that were in their 20s, in the 70s or 80s, they missed something because their children today are mostly rude, not polite, and those that think they're talented are full of shit, and their heads are full of it. So I don't know what kind of people we have now, but the hatred that they have for a president, the humiliation of another human being, the derogatory statements that are made for people of importance is just not American. It's just not who I am or who you are. You came from a time when we were, you know, everybody said about prejudice and black and white. That's bullshit. I came from New York and Brooklyn. My best friends were black. I never understood that bullshit about prejudice and hatred for black people or Jewish people or gay people until I went out in the world. And then I found that crap. But living in Brooklyn, we all got along great. We were all just neighbors. You know, I didn't know who was what.
I know.
So today they emphasize on the black, the white, the yellow, the green, the blue. I mean, get over that shit. Move on. We're all human beings. Let's just go out and party. Let's go disco. Let's go dance. Let's go fucking have fun.
I agree, but it's the people that are in power, the people that call the shots in the music industry. You know, it's all about numbers, and they don't care about the talent. They don't care about the music. It's about numbers. And if your numbers aren't high and lucrative for everyone that's involved, then you're irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's all about numbers.
And the same thing is in actors. We actors, we have to worry. Every movie I make movies because my score is low or high. It's supposed to be which way? The IMBD.
Low. It needs to be low. Yours.
Yeah, my IMBD is pretty good, so I get music. Now let me talk about.
Hold on, because we skipped way too many
just
things.
One more statement. Let me talk about Patti LaBelle. I mean, she doesn't need numbers, okay? Patti LaBelle can fill a house. Tina Turner.
But they don't play her music on the radio.
No, because nobody wants their music. They're too stupid today to get a good music. They don't know. They don't hear Patti LaBelle, what she's saying, or Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? I mean, those were songs. And also this lady's song. I mean, they're great songs.
So hang on, though, because first of all, we want you to say hi to some people. First, you got to say hi to our man behind the videos. His name's Scotty J, and he's in Philadelphia. So say hi to Scotty J.
Hey, Scotty J in Philly. What's up, baby?
Hey, Miss Brown. The years have been kind.
Oh, kind of you to say so.
Then we've got at the W4CY studios in Wellington, Florida, we have Danielle.
Hi, Danielle in Florida.
Hello. Welcome to the show. And may I add, I definitely dug your music. I love that old school music. I'm a millennial, and I think our music sucks. And I wish we had more Patti LaBelle and Tina Turner and Miss Brown herself.
Oh, how kind of you to say.
Let's
Thank
never
you,
leave out my idol, who I fell in love with her music when I was 16, Mary Wells.
Oh, my God. That's why I got into the business. I was a young girl, Motown. I used to, oh my God, Ron.
I adored Mary.
Mary was the best. Absolute, clear, crisp. You could understand her lyric. My mom used to say to me, she wanted me to be a nurse. And she said, well, if you're going to sing, make sure you don't pronounce your words with this, that, those, and dim.
Exactly.
Yeah, this, that, those, and dim.
Right.
That's what she said to me, I swear to God. But Mary Wells never, ever had that problem. I understood all of her lyric, and she delivered it with such emotion. Oh, my God, we're best friends forever. Mary's my idol.
Love, you'd better wake up, yeah, before we break up and you lose me. Look to me. I love that. I love Mary Wells. When Mary passed away, I thought music went down the sewer. I was heartbroken. Mary Wells, in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, we used to have portable radios that we had on our shoulders, not the boom boxes, the old. I'm going to be 80 in May, so go back. I'm 79 years old now, so go back in time.
God. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. 79. Yeah. So I go back a long, long way. And in the the middle 1950s, Motown kind of it was the Ink Spots started in. There were so many groups. Black people started to become famous as group singers. And of course, there was controversy because the others didn't want that to happen because they knew that the black people had talent and could sing and had a new sound. And they were threatened by that. So they were putting it down. But I remember all the greats of the early days, and I was just a Motown freak. But I want to just put it out there again. Mary Wells, wherever you are, my dear, I love you.
Hang on. So then we've got a chat room with like all kinds of countries represented. We've got England, we've got Canada, we've got Germany, all kinds. So say a hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, everyone in the chat room. Everyone in the chat room. Remember what I said. Fall in love with yourself.
There you
You
go.
have to respect yourself also.
And Dave Hughes, when you were playing your song, I Specialize in Love, he said that he used to spin that in the clubs all the time. And he says he has a box of albums of yours, and he's got I Make You Feel Like the First Time. I'll Make You Feel Like the First Time. Is that you?
That was my first label that I established on my own. And I had plans on launching the label and putting other artists on along with myself. And I think that was in 1986. And as I made my deal with Sunshine Distributors, out of Philly, I discovered that I was pregnant with my second son.
Okay.
Son or my first son? How long ago? It must have been my first son.
He also.
Yeah. No, my
Dave-
second son. Yeah, my second son. He was born in 87.
He actually says that your albums sell really good on eBay. Your vinyl albums, he said they get 80 pounds a pop on your albums due on eBay.
Oh, that's wonderful to know. That's wonderful to know.
I have a question. It's kind of a political question. We have so many friends of ours who are great singers of these 80s and 90s, like Joya.
Actually, hold on. Before you even go there.
I can name them all, and you probably know them all.
No, wait, because I know something you don't know.
Who's my sweetheart?
So one of our favorite groups and very, very close friends of Ron and I are Expose, who actually released I Specialize in Love on their own album. They did a cover of it on their albums, and Expose are great friends of ours.
Right.
Wonderful. I've never met them.
Oh my gosh, you have to meet them. They would love you, and you would love them.
Joya Bruno is the one I'm talking about. Joya has said how the establishment robbed her blind. She earned millions of dollars for the establishment and wound up with like $500. I mean, not only that, but wait a second. I have other friends that should I name my sweetheart who I love so much?
BNGB, I don't know who.
Oh, BNGB, I love it. Also, my Lily McLeod got robbed. You know who Lily McLeod is?
She had a dance hit in the 80s also, but Expose was different though, because they had 8 top 10 hits.
Anyway,
they didn't make any money.
All of these girls were robbed by the establishment back in those days. They all wound up with nothing, which is horrible. Did that happen to you, or were you too smart?
It happened.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't see a dime.
Well, the story I want to pass on to you is somebody who I'm really crazy about, CeCe Peniston. I said,
I'm going to do a show at CeCe October 26th at the Lehman College Performance Center of Arts.
Well,
yes.
you'll give her a big squeeze, a hug, and a kiss from Ron Russell, because I love her.
Will.
And
I certainly will.
She got screwed major because Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, they used her song, Finally, okay? And never gave her a nickel, and they changed the title of the song to use it in the movie. So I said to CeCe, go after them and sue their asses off. She said, Ron, that's what I intend to do. It's horrible what the big shots did. I don't know if they were mafia. I don't know really who controlled the music business back then. But the way they just abused all of this great talent, and they got nothing for it. That saddens me.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the climate for most of us. And I think when the hip hop culture took over, a lot of us, I know I did, I started paying attention to the youth and seeing what was going on. And then I realized how much money these guys were making. And a lot of them had zero talent. I'm sorry, zero talent, but they were making buku money.
I agree.
Their numbers were outrageous on all social media platforms. So I'm saying, what's going on? So I had a conversation with one of the biggest hip hop artists out there in the world today. And he simply said to me, Sharon, pay your way up. Now you take that for what it is.
What did he say?
Pay your way up.
P-A-Y, pay?
P-A-Y, pay your way up.
What does that mean? I don't get it.
It means that they got to pay to get all those things.
Oh, you have to pay to get the numbers.
I think that's what it means, because I know
that always was. I mean, years ago, if you were pushing somebody's music.
Exactly. It's never changed. It's never changed. It may have put on a new pantyhose. It may put on a new hat. May have changed the shade of lipstick, but it's the same shit. Pay your way up.
Years ago, in order to get your music on a station, you had to grease them good. Give them a lot of money to get your number up there, your song up there.
You still got to do it. It's like $1 million.
I thought they outlawed that.
Same way, Ron.
Yeah,
it's still the same way. Same way. I remember when Specialized was done, we had it on vinyl. We're here in America, in New York City. Corey Robbins from Profile Records. I mean, he took the record under his arm and hit the street. We went to club, and sometimes he would take me with him. He would go to the DJ booth, let them know who he was, what he had, and that the artist is in the audience. And whatever else he had in the other hand would be grease the other palm of the DJs. Yeah. And they would spin the records all day long, all night long, and continue to do so. I watched these guys hit the street, and they greased a lot of palms. You help me, I help you. That's the name of the game. I'm not ashamed of it because I know that's what it is. It's like that in everything, in every business. You help me, I help you. You look out for me, I look out for you. And then we have the enemies to watch out for. It's the same everywhere. The only thing is that I say to anyone that loves this industry like we do, first of all, you gotta love what you do. Yes. You gotta love it. You gotta love what you do. Because if you don't, there's so many ugly things, you know, in this industry or in business general. So many ugly things and ugly people and ugly agendas. You have to love what you do. You love what you do. You love yourself. You're happy with you. You're comfortable in your skin. You pay no attention. Stay focused on your goal. Stay focused no matter what.
We're really not in that part of the business. And Jimmy and I, we promote everybody and we don't want anything. We never ask for money or favors. And we have so many friends that really love us and we love them.
That's out of love. That's the key.
I mean, I've met some dream boats. You know, I was at a party that Jimmy loves this story. And who do I meet? Sister Sledge. Now,
Kathy Sledge.
Now, listen to me, honey. I'm not dropping names. But listen, Jane Russell was my best friend. I knew Betty Davis very well. Okay, because I had a TV show where I interviewed them all. So celebrity does not excite me or knock me over.
We were at a TV screening for a TV show.
I'm jumping up and down yelling, Jimmy, come over here.
He's making a total fool of himself in front of 500 Pepper.
It's Sister Sledge.
And he's like screaming across the room.
And Kathy's looking at me. I said, "No, forgive me, but I love you so much. I love your song. Oh, my God." I was like a kid, a teenager. And here I am, like maybe 65 years old, acting like an idiot. Well, Kathy appreciated
70.
70. Kathy loved it so much that we bonded, and I love Kathy Sledge.
She was our first guest on when we returned from radio to television. She was our very first guest.
And we lived one town away. We lived in Doylestown, and I won't tell you where she lived, but she lived in the next town over from us.
In Pennsylvania.
So she was coming to the house for dinner, and she said to me, "Can I bring a friend?" I said, "Absolutely." She said, "Yeah, I'd like to bring Patti LaBelle." Well, I dropped dead. I felt I couldn't even speak. I said, "Wow, me that talks all the time. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was having a coronary. What the fuck am I gonna cook for Patti LaBelle? I mean, she's a great cook. You know, Patti at a cooking show."
Didn't work anyway, though, because then we
never
moved.
happened because we moved. So when I will see Kathy, I'm going to say, "Kathy, let's go to dinner, and you have to bring Patti," because I adore Patti LaBelle, and she knows that. So, but Kathy Sledge is one of the sweetest, nicest.
I bet you know Kathy Sledge,
You
right?
know Kathy?
I have never met Kathy.
Oh, she's a doll. You would love her. She's just a regular guy. She's a sweetie pie.
You get to work with everybody, though. First of all,
wait. Did you ever work with Tina?
I've not worked with Tina, but I did meet her.
How is she? Nice? No, yeah.
Well, when I met Tina, she was still under the influence of Ike, so she didn't have much to say.
Oh, that's too bad because she's so fabulous.
Too busy getting beat up.
Hold on. So also we have Eileen Shapiro's in the chat room, so give a shout out to Eileen.
Hello, my precious Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, Rainbow Bright.
Yeah.
And she says she's going to be at the show where you're doing with Cece. She's going to be at that show, so she's going to see you.
Where is that show? Let's hear more about it.
That's going to be October 26th at Lehman College in the Bronx.
Oh, I wish I were there. I would be there.
Yeah, that's fun.
We miss all the good stuff. You guys got to come out west. You know, we could use you.
We do. You know we do. It's Cece's on the show, myself, Fonda Ray, Franz Jolie. I believe I'm leaving someone out, but for right now, I do know that so far. But I'm excited because Cece's going to be on the show. And as you know, she just did the TV show Black Girls Rock, her and
Right.
Robin S. and Crystal Waters, and they really did rock it. So I'm very anxious to see Cece, and I
And we've
will give.
actually had Cece on the show, and we've had Crystal Waters on the show,
Right.
and
I'm waiting for.
and now we have you on the show. It's
And
so
now
exciting.
you have Sharon.
That's right,
Yes.
Sharon Brown.
Well, little by little, I'm meeting all my favorite people, and that makes me happy. But Cece, you know, I wanted to come out west because I'm trying to get her booked here in the Purple Room, and we have to know what she's
wonderful.
available. So wouldn't it be nice if we booked you and Cece at the
And
Purple
You have
Room?
my permission.
And it's in Palm Springs. You'd have to travel. I don't think they'd
You
pay
have
for
my permission.
Do you know? Because at Christmas time
I can have your permission.
you have a permission
You
to
have
book
my
her.
permission.
Okay.
So there was I think there's a book series about the women of disco,
Yeah.
and we had a bunch of the ladies come on the show, and I could have sworn I saw you mentioned with them in that. Were you in a book or a show about the women of disco?
If they mentioned me, it might have been just a little filler line or just a passing thought, because I was never interviewed for the book. I was totally overlooked. But then I did hear from James Arena, who was
That's it. Okay, there's the guy. Okay.
he did reach out and said at some point he was going to do another volume of disco dance music or whatever, and that he would be interested in putting me in the book. But we never, ever took it any further than that. So I decided, you know what? I've been overlooked so much in this industry since I came out in '82. And I guess it has a lot to do with the fact that I am an American, but I'm a British import. My music was imported back into the United States before the United States even grabbed hold of it. And that happened through Frankie Crocker over at WBLS Radio in New York City, which is my home-based radio station. And once Frankie Crocker broke the record, then the rest of the country followed suit. But I was already a hit in the UK. I was on the Virgin label there, and Richard Branson was my host.
Oh, how cool is that? I mean, you have such experiences. It's just sickening.
Well, that's why you're
it's
good.
so awesome.
Now, Sharon, what did you think of Donna Summer?
I thought Donna Summer had a great career. She had a great team around her. And I hope with all my heart that she experienced magnanimous joy throughout the career. I just hope that she did. She made some beautiful babies. Her daughters are absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And I just hope everything in the bloodline in Donna's Summer family is still okay. Everyone's thriving. I loved Donna, and she's gone and she's missed, and she had this disco sound on lockdown. I just miss Donna. I love Donna and I miss her. And
So you knew her as a friend.
Donna's from the same area that I lived in here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Her sister, the Gaines family. She has sisters, and her sisters are still involved in music as well, but they're still in Massachusetts as well. And so it was just kind of like we wanted to maybe get us all together that came out of this area. It was the Belle Biv DeVoe, New Kids on the Block, New Edition, Donna Summer, myself, another talent, Larry Wu, Maurice Starr was doing all the producing, 9.9, Margot Thunder. We were all coming out of this Black neighborhood in Roxbury, Dorchester, Massachusetts, because I came up to Massachusetts to go to school over at New England Conservatory of Music.
Royalty. I mean, that's like total royalty.
That's why you're so well spoken. Now we have other people we love from Chic. Says Chic. They're two of our sweeties also. We love them.
We met them through Kathy Sledge,
We met them through Kathy Sledge. Chic, say Magnifique. I love those girls. They are the sweetest girls in the world.
I did a show with them last year at the Lehman College. It was Disco Explosion, and we're going to do Disco Explosion 2, October 26th. But I've met the girls, worked with them, and yes, they are lovely. But when you mention Chic, for me, it takes me to Specialize in Love, because very few people realize that the keyboard player from Chic, Andy Schwartz, is the arranger for I Specialize in Love, and also the keyboardist that plays that beautiful tag that everyone hears as soon as the record drops.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's Andy Schwartz from the group Chic. And another little tidbit, all the musicians that play that music we all fell in love with on Specialized in Love is by the group out of Brooklyn called Crown Heights Affair.
Yay.
That's great. From
So
Brooklyn.
you also though, because you're from
I
like
love you as a guest. My God, you're so full of information. I could be with you for hours.
also though,
hours
like
and hours.
because I went on your Wikipedia and I saw that you're the actual niece of Phil Medley and he co-wrote Twist and Shout. I mean, you come from royalty, like you're like music royalty before you even started. And I think your father maybe was a famous drummer who worked with a bunch of people, and you've worked with Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Todd Rundgren. I mean, you're like royalty.
Then if your father,
Yes,
if your
That's what
father,
a lot of people don't realize that. I'm so thankful, Jimmy, that you brought all that up. Yes, I didn't just come in with Specialized in Love. I had been putting in the work behind the scenes. I was a CBS songwriter, and my first assignment was Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Now, this is the time during when Powell left the group as lead singer. And then we had a new lead singer from Rare Earth, a rock group called Rare Earth. The lead singer is Jerry LaCroix. Jerry joined Blood, Sweat, and Tears. CBS Records directed myself and the producer, Hank Cosby, who was an ex-Motown producer of Stevie Wonder and played the saxophone on many of those records and was famous, but no one knew who he was. But Hank and I produced Blood, Sweat, and Tears album. It's called Mirror's Image. It's the LP with all the eyeballs on the cover. My song is the third song. It's called Love Looks Good on You. And it has the Motown kind of a early sound to it. And Jerry LaCroix sang the hell out of it. I sang the demo for him, and then I did all the background work on that song. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. Love Looks Good on You. You can find it on YouTube. And it's a beautiful song. And I was writing about love long, long time ago, way back in the 70s. Then I started doing background work with Todd. Oh my God, Felix Cavallari. What a joy from the Young Rascals.
how do you remember all these names?
I know, how do you remember all?
I forget Jimmy's name sometimes.
Baby, I just had such beautiful people in my life
Right.
that gave me so much information. I learned so much about music. And Felix and I, we would hang out in the Bronx when I lived over there in the Pelhams. And Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the horn section, they would come to my living room and we would jam it in there, just writing new music. I'm a musician, so I would really, really, really just find my peace and my joy when I was around creative people. And all these cats were great creators,
Okay,
even though
now-
All these cats. I love that. All these
now
cats.
listen, I had a good friend, and your father was a drummer. You'll know my friend, Earl Palmer. Did you know Earl Palmer?
the name sounds very familiar, and it just hit. It made me kind of like get goosebumps because my family, one of the family names on my mother's side is Palmer.
Well, Earl Palmer was a studio drummer, and he was probably one of the best in the business. We have friends that are from Pink Floyd, and all those guys respect and know Earl. Everybody in the rock business know. So you must have heard Earl Palmer. You had to.
I probably have, but you have to understand my dad, William Brown, he was a drummer, but my father was a jazz enthusiast. His roots were jazz. His favorite, he loved saxophonists, and he loved Gene Rollins, and he loved Cannonball Adderley. And matter of fact, it was my father, on my father's request, that when I went to Los Angeles to try to pursue my music career, that I look up Cannonball Adderley. My father told me not to bother to try to look for R&B stars, R&B, none of that. He said, go and find the real cats that know the real music. Because
I love cats.
That's what my daddy says. So I went to LA, I met Cannon. Cannon took me under his arm, under his wing, and loved every bit of the music that I presented to him. And he said to me, after a few meetings, he said to me, Sharon, I will produce your album when I get back from the gig in Phoenix. And I was on cloud 9, happy.
Yay!
I called Daddy. I said, Daddy, Cannon said he will do it. He loves the music and he loves one of your favorite songs because it was a swing type song and my father loves swinging. So
I love swing too.
yeah. So Cannon said, okay, Sharon, we'll be in business when I get back from Phoenix. So he went on to Phoenix to do his show there, and I'm anxiously waiting on him to come back in LA. And in the middle of the night, I get a phone call from some chick that right now I think she's the most wicked. But anyway, she calls me. She calls me on the phone and says to me in a very facetious voice and tone, Sharon, haven't you heard? Have you heard? I said, no, heard what? I was asleep. What did I miss? She says, Cannon is dead.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't even, I was speechless. And she said, did you hear me? Cannon is dead. And I said, what? Yeah, he's dead. Now what are you going to do?
Oh, my God. What a terrible, evil person.
Did you ever smack her around?
I never saw her again because my divine guardians would not allow me to go to jail.
That's right. That's right. Now, did you ever meet Diana Ross?
Oh my God, here we go with the Diana story. Let me give you this one. Oh, I love this. Let me tell you, years ago, a single mom, I have a best girlfriend named Shirley. We both have kids and no man, and we're really trying to do this thing on our own. But we're just like, oh my God, we're never gonna do anything because we're young mothers and we're not going anywhere. And we were on welfare. So I get the bright idea. Let's save up our welfare money as much as we can and give after parties at night on the weekend and save all that money and take a trip to Los Angeles. Well, long story short, we did it. We booked a trip for 1 week in San Francisco, 1 week in Los Angeles. We get to San Francisco. I'm thinking it's California, sunshine, blue skies, and heat. I get to San Francisco. I'm wearing a poncho, see-through net with gladiator boots. It was freezing. I was freezing my ass off when I got up.
San
I said,
Fran
what
is
the
cold.
hell? This is California. What is this? It was freezing. So long story short, we ran around San Francisco for a minute. Then we went into LA. We get to LA. I start meeting all these people. I end up over at the Motown studio. Stevie Wonder's recording Talking Book. I think it was Talking Book at the time. Or Life in the Key of, or Key of Life.
Something in the Key of Life.
Yeah, that one. So we're watching Stevie and we meet Stevie. We meet T-Boy, Arthur Ross, Diana's oldest brother. Then we meet her other brother, Fred. Then Fred says, hey, come with me. Let's go to Diana's house. Oh, yeah, we're going. So we go over to Maple Drive in Hollywood, in Beverly Hills. Diana's not home. I don't know what's going on. The gate's all locked up. Fred gets the right idea to jump over the fence. He jumps over the fence. Diana has Doberman Pinscher dogs over there. So I guess they knew Fred because Fred was back there wrestling with the dogs. All we could do was hear him. Finally, he opens the gate. He lets me and my girlfriend in. It's a beautiful spread. We're at the pool. 2 nice bathrooms out there with buckets of swimsuits for males, swimsuits for females. At the time, I was almost 200 pounds. I tell you, I swear I was a big girl. And I couldn't find a damn bathing suit in Diana's basket to fit me. I mean, all the suits would only wrap around one of my arms. So I said, what the hell is this? So I found this beautiful satin pink scarf, long. I wrapped it around and made it a suit. So now we're out there in the pool having a good time. My girlfriend can't swim. Fred's drunk. He jumps in the pool, bumps his head. He comes up bleeding. All of a sudden, the lights come on in the pool. Somebody's in the house. We look, it's Miss Ernestine, Diana Ross's mother. Now we're busted in the pool. I'm like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? So she called Fred, and Fred's explaining that these 2 women he has with them are harmless. We're good people, we're friends, and one of them is into music, which was me. So she says, okay, she invites us in the house. Oh my God, I get in the house, the kitchen, the room off of the pool was decorated in the bright yellow and white plaid wallpapers, big stainless steel appliances, this big mural of the Supremes painted on the wall, the white. the bathroom. I had to go use the bathroom. You know that trick. Can I use the bathroom, please? So I go in to use the bathroom, and it's all black. The ceiling, the walls, the floor, shiny black. And the only color in there was lemon-shaped soap. I thought it was fabulous, fabulous. So I'm like in my glory. Then the phone call comes. It's Diana Ross. She cusses her brother out for all he's worth for having strangers in her house. And she was giving birth to her first child, Rhonda. Holy shit! What a lucky break we got. She gives birth to Rhonda, and she asked her mom to bring my girdle. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. It's my personal story of Diana Ross. Never met the lady, but I loved her mom. I met her mom and her brothers. And I was in her home, and she has a beautiful home, and I know she likes pork chops.
I love your laugh. You have the greatest laugh.
You have got to come back on this show, or I will quit the business, because you are one hell of a person. You are a fabulous character and a great talent and a good guest, probably one of our best. Now let's go on. I'm trying to think of. We have a story. A very good friend of ours, Ozzy, comes to our house for dinner. And she said, may I bring a friend? And I said, of course you could bring a friend. And they brought this lovely lady, a black lady, who I thought maybe was in prison for a long time because she didn't give her name and she wouldn't talk about herself. And I thought this is kind of rude and weird that I'm feeding this woman at my dinner table and she's not telling us who she is or what she's all about. So I'm assuming she could have been a nun or something, or she was in jail for many years. And finally, after
dinner and lots of drinks.
After dinner and lots of drinks, she said to me and Jimmy, I really like you guys and I can trust you. So I'm going to tell you who I am. And I said, well, who are you? And she said,
I forgot.
What's his name's wife?
I know.
The Motown guy.
She was a Gordy.
Gordy. She's Gordy. Do you know who she is?
Not Barry Gordy, but the other Gordy, the brother Gordy.
She was married to Barry Gordy's brother. She's a Gordy. You know who she is. A stunningly looking woman in her 70s, way out.
Looking for the pictures.
Way out. You have to know her. What was her first name?
I forgot.
The only Gordys that I met was Anna and Gwen. Gwen was the real Gordy that I actually sat down and broke bread with and got information. Gwen Gordy invited me to her home. And
this one lives in Las Vegas. She lives in Las Vegas. She's invited us to her home in Vegas whenever we're there.
Anna? That's a Gordy. That's a real Gordy. Anna.
Yeah, real Gordy.
Yeah, she was married to Barry Gordy's brother. Barry Gordy was her brother.
Gordy. No, we have the wrong person. Anna is a Gordy.
Anna is a Gordy. There's not married to a
Gordy. Oh, no.
Gordy.
This one was married to the brother.
Okay.
I can't think of her name, but she's a sweetheart. And I said to her,
why? And then she was telling us the most fabulous stories.
Oh, about Diana Ross, what a bitch she was. She's not a fan.
I've never met Diana personally, but I know that Diana has the reputation of being a bitch. But I don't feed into it because she's never bitched me. You know what I'm saying? She's never.
I agree. I agree.
I'll wait till I get bitched by her before I'll speak.
I agree.
I agree. But we've had some really interesting people. But I thought she was the most fascinating because and I told her, I said, I thought you were in prison for many years. And she went hysterical, laughing. She said, well, you know what it is. When I go out and I tell them who I am, everybody starts to sing. I said,
everybody wants to hit.
They audition. And I said to her, no, I'm an actor and a comedian. I don't sing. So she told us who she was. But she was a sweetie pie.
We've been very fortunate, though. I want to bring up one other thing real quick, too, because you have another song, and I listened to it, and then I did some research, and they said it was a huge underground hit, even though I don't even know if it was formally released, and it's called Family Tree that you helped write and you sing on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Family Tree was a song. I was in a group years ago before I got a hit record. I was working for CBS Records, actually, just before that. and I was in a group called Rainbow.
Yeah.
And it was Charles Green, guitarist, Chuck Parham on bass, Dorian McGee on drums, Ronnie Bishop on keys, and myself, lead singer. And Ronnie, the keyboard player, came to me once in New York, and he had a little melody and a little structure of a song, and it was Family Tree. And it was very, very, very Sly Stone. It was very, very in the vein of Sly.
Yay.
Love Sly.
Yeah, I'll give you a good story about
It's a
Sly.
family affair.
Yes, it is. And so when I got the song from Ronnie, I took it and I finished the lyric and changed it and rearranged it and just made it a real song. And then I went to California. I ran into Norman Whitfield, who became my mentor. And we recorded the song in LA. I was on the jogging track and I was jogging while they were in the studio putting the song together, and I completely forgot there was session time. I remembered at the last minute, so I didn't have time to go and change. So I ran into the studio full of sweat, full on my sweatsuit. I was a sweaty mess. Ran into the booth. I sang the lead, sang the horn part so the horn players could play it. We got it done, and I left LA, never looked back. Next thing I know, Norman had released it on Whitfield Records. It started floating around, and next thing I know, the DJ got hold of it. I forgot his name, Fatboy Slim. He got hold of it, remixed it, put some congos on it. It became a huge, huge underground hit in the UK. It became it was a song for a movie. It was doing a lot of things, and I'm saying, well, okay, it's doing all these things, but where's the money at? So that song was the very first hit, underground hit, and I've had people come to me and ask me to, license it out, which I have done on several occasions. What I'm seeing is that it's not generating. I'm a BMI writer, and BMI is not tracking Family Tree or any of my music the way it should. And so I have a problem with BMI, and I'm trying now to switch over to ASCAP as a publisher, and I'll write under a different name and go put it in ASCAP, because BMI, I've been with BMI since the 70s, and they haven't generated $1,000 yet.
That's terrible,
Now,
especially
is
with the
that
big
song?
hits you have.
Is that the same as Family Affair? The song?
No.
No, it's not.
It's not Family Affair, but Family Tree. It was very Sly Stone-ish, and I changed it. And then actually I was going to see if I can get it to Sly to sing, but I wrote something else for Sly. I had been under Norman Whitfield's wing for a while over at Fort Knox Studio in California. And I think it was Warner Brothers. They were going to do a new album on Sly and the Family Stone, and they needed some new music. And at the time, Motown got involved. Motown, Mark, David, the producer over there, or Mark Davis, that's was his name, Mark Davis. And he was producing The Temptations, Standing on Shaky Ground. And they were getting into that funk sound. So I wrote a song for Sly. If you remember, when Sly did that record, There's a Riot Going On, that album with the big American flag on the cover. If you remember, if you ever look at the song listings of that LP, there was one song called There's a Riot Going On, but there was no song. It was just a title and blank sheet music, no song. Yeah, that's Sly for you. So I said, okay, let me pick that up. So I took the title, There's a Riot Going On, and I actually filled in the music blank. And I filled in the song, the music, and the lyric, and I played bass on it because I play different instruments for different sounds.
How many instruments do you play? Oh no, we lost her. What happened? Scott.
Oh, Scott, get her back.
We only have
someone tried to call me. Anyway.
Oh wait, hit the video button again. Hit the video button again. We lost you.
No, we're there. We got her. We got her.
We don't have her.
You don't see her?
No.
We
don't have her.
Oh,
wait a minute. Hold up.
Hold up.
All right, yeah, I had her, so I don't know. That's weird.
Hey, I see you guys.
You got her
now?
now?
I see you. Now we see you. Almost. Well, now you're standing in front of the camera.
We
see your finger.
Oh, we see her house.
Oh, yeah.
We know where you live.
How about now?
You got to turn
You
the
got me?
camera around because now we see you outside the windows of your house.
Oh, now how did I do that? I'm telling you. Wait a minute. Let's do this again.
You have to reverse it
Yeah, hit the little button that flips the screen around to the other way.
so we see you and not the windows.
That's hilarious.
The windows are pretty, but you're prettier.
We see, though, how you say so thin and beautiful, though, with all your workout equipment and your weights and your treadmill.
I don't know what I'm doing. Can you see me?
No, but we see your gym equipment.
We see your gym equipment. There we go.
There you are.
Yay!
Well, I can't see you because I turned the phone around.
We only have a couple minutes anyway.
I just wanted to ask you one more question. My favorite
Okay,
group,
I'm looking at the back of the phone. Shoot.
Okay.
my favorite group of all groups of the 80s was DeBarge. And I know they broke up, and one of them, I believe, has passed away. But somehow DeBarge is coming back, and I don't understand that. Yeah, I read it all. Yeah, the group DeBarge is reuniting, and they're coming back.
They just reunite and they replace those people who.
The guy who passed away. Did you know DeBarge? I love DeBarge.
I never met DeBarge, but I knew their music and I've watched their stories on Unsung. But they should. It's easy. It's no rocket science. That's family. That's bloodline. That's bloodline. Of course they're going to reunite. Of course they would do that. We have no idea when it would take place.
Well, I heard that they're supposedly doing something now, and I can't wait. I thought you would know about it.
Well, no, I don't know about it, and rightfully so, because loose lips sink ships.
There you go.
You're right. And then we have another buddy we like.
Wait,
Wait. Central Park. What's his name? The actor who was married to the soap opera woman. The hell was his name? He sings Love is a Beautiful Thing.
Oh, Leon. He doesn't think disco.
No, but Leon. Do you know Leon from Love is a Beautiful Thing?
No, Leon is a famous.
I met him at a club. Yeah, I met him. Yeah, briefly after a club. I had someone invited me to a club in the village to put Madonna on before she became famous, and asked me to appear so that Madonna could do her thing, and I did. And Leon was there. And Madonna took off, and they still owe me $750.
Oh my God!
Leon owes you $750.
No, not Leon.
Oh,
Madonna.
Oh, Madonna. Well, she's a putana anyway. But Leon is a friend of ours. I'll have to talk about that when I see him.
Anyway, hold on. So everybody, this is Sharon Brown.
Sharon, I love you.
She's so fabulous. So
can I turn the phone around so I can see you?
You can turn it around because I want to just make sure everybody. So what show you have October? When is the disco experience too? October 28th?
No. October 26th.
October 26th. Do you have any other shows before that you want to tell anybody about?
You just missed September 21st. I just left Staten Island, the St. George Theater. The video clips are all over Facebook and Instagram. You'll see a little bit of the show. I was blown away by the love that I received in Staten Island. It was so much so that I said, maybe I should move back home because I'm thinking about moving back to New York, but I can't imagine living any other place than Staten Island now because...
Where are you living now?
I'm in the South Shore of Massachusetts. I'm in Kennedy territory, baby.
Oh, well, that's rough. That's very rough.
You totally need to get your laugh recorded and get people to use your laugh for stuff. It's fabulous.
Listen, Sharon.
Yes, baby.
No bullshit. This is an honest, swear to God invitation. If ever you come to LA and Palm Springs, you will call me, please. I will cook you the most fabulous Italian dinner, and we will have a wonderful evening. We'll get drunk. We'll sing. We have the piano. I have recording equipment here, microphones. We do a whole show. We will have a ball. I love you. I think you're fabulous. Your career has been stupendous. You know all the people you should know. And thank you again for your music. And God bless you. You're a sweetie pie.
Oh, thank you, Ron, so much. And I'm going to take you up on that Italian dinner because I love food.
And don't forget to hug and kiss Cece for me.
I most certainly will. I'll hug and kiss her, and we'll take a video and send it to you. I promise.
Promise.
There you go.
I
We
promise
also
me.
want to thank Soho Johnny because it's the
Yeah.
classic this summer disco experience that you performed at. That was Soho Johnny's party that you met Eileen, which enabled Eileen to like introduce you to us to have you on the show. So we want to thank Eileen Shapiro. We want to thank Soho Johnny, and we want to thank you for being such a fabulous guest. We wish you
and
all
I
the
want
luck
to
in
say
the
one
world.
thing. You know, Sharon, we have almost 5 million people watching this show right now. I want to send the word out. Disco is not dead. Let's keep it going because it's a fabulous music. It was a fabulous time. And listen, and look at the wonderful people who did disco. So tell your friends, encourage everybody. Let's have disco. Let's play it. Let's dance to it. Let's enjoy it. Let's bring back the love that we had in disco.
There you go.
That's
All right,
right.
Sharon. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
We'll talk to you soon. If you need anything, you let us know. Bye-bye,
sweetie.
honey.
Hugs and kisses.
Thank you. Love you. Love you.
Love you
Bye-bye.
too.
Love you
Bye-bye.
more, Sharon.
Yay.
What
What
is-
Bye, Eileen, Johnny.
I love